You want to watch this episode as I answer two questions on what is the importance of credibility, and I already feel I'm credible today. How do I expand making that happen? Hi, I'm going to answer two questions. I'm just going to combine them together. So let me give you the first one. First, there was a statement. It seemed I created trust and confidence in my clients and team by being authentic, my true self, tempered with professionalism. I'm not sure how to explain it in a message. My question would be more of a, how do you think I can improve from here sort of question. And then the follow-up question is, what made you focus in on credibility? How do you define it? How would you rank it in order of importance in life and business on a scale to 1 to 10? Now, I'm including another person, although if you listen to the question, it's not exactly the same. Is credibility something that can have degrees, 1 to 10, or is it an either-or thing? All right. So first, let's talk about, can credibility have degrees, or is it on or off, yes or no? You have it or you don't. The answer is yes, of course. Credibility is not on or off. It's not like you have it or you don't have it. There are always degrees. And so what ended up happening is I interviewed 500 thought leaders on what is credibility. And I've defined it in 3 pillars. And then underneath each pillar are 10 components. There's another video, and we could reference a couple other videos in this series that are worth looking at. But the 3 pillars, credibility overall, is the quality in which somebody knows, likes, and trusts you. Underneath each one of those pillars are 10 components. And I won't go through all of them here because you can look at other locations about that. So the question is, how important is credibility on a scale from 1 to 10? On a scale from 1 to 10, it is a 10 in terms of how important is it in your life. People don't want to do business with you if you're not credible. People, if you're dating, won't want to go on a date with you. Want to get married? People won't want to get married with you. It's simply people won't want to be friends with you. If you are completely out of credibility or out of character, or one of those people who have nothing, well, maybe you'll attract other people who have nothing, but in terms of attracting other people who are credible, you want that. In the TED Talk I did, I equated to when you're credible, you're more humane. So the more humane you want to be, the better of a human you want to be, the more credible you want to be. And so on the question of, is there scales? I mean, can you scale it? The answer is yes. You know, of the 10 components, not all of them have to be 100%. I'm credible or I'm not credible. You know, it's there may be things that are missing over time. You know, it's not a either or. One of the things I did put into place is, you know, if you have all 10, I would call you presidential, or maybe it's another credible term. You know, 100% credible. I don't know. We have to come up with the right. Originally it was presidential. Maybe that's not the right one. Let's come up with a term for what does it mean to have all 10 cylinders firing. What I have to say is the opposite of credible to me is dubious. And we all do things which are dubious in one way or another. And many of us, I'll do it on a daily basis. Because we're all so different. What may be credible to one person is dubious to another. And there are some fine lines there, right? There are things that I do. When I shared on LinkedIn my TED Talk, I've had people say to me, stop spamming me. Now, I consider a TED Talk anything opposite of what spam is. But that said, you know, people have said that. And to them, for whatever reason, for whatever purpose, that appeared to spam for them. And in their eyes, I acted dubiously. And in that particular case, it's true. Now, that means, in my perspective, it was they didn't want to know enough about me or care about what the TED Talk was, which, once again, not a commercial at all. Those are people that I probably don't want in my life. Those are people that I probably should disconnect to, and I did. But the thing is, that doesn't mean they're bad. That means they perceive me as dubious, and I can make a decision of whether or not the way I messaged that information was dubious, and maybe it was. So what happens is, if on a daily basis I'm acting dubious, then the question becomes, do I self-correct? And if I don't self-correct, and I have a series of accountability partners that are looking at me, telling me things that I'm doing and telling me I'm dubious, if I continue to do what they say are dubious, then I believe I am dubious. But if my accountability partners are telling me to change or think about it, then I change, and that's more credible. So when you said you've act more credible and people have seen you more credibly because you've acted yourself and they've seen you, the answer is yes. What's appropriate about one of the components of being known is that it's not that they know of you, that they know you, that you have the intent and commitment to do the right thing, that you have integrity, and that you are a servant leader. And when those that are around you see that, there's an interest, there's an inclination, there's a desire to want to get to know, when you think about the world needs to be better and you can help make that happen, at least the world that is the world that is in your universe, those things surrounding you, and those things that you're in your control, and you can make it better for them, then you are being a servant leader, and you are supporting, and you are helping. And so how do you get more of that? You do it on a larger scale, right? I mean, there's no right or wrong. One of the things I'm going to say, here's a pitch. Are you ready? Join Credibility Nation. At credibilitynation.com, it is that community where you can surround yourself with the right people. You've heard the expression that you are only as good as the top 5 friends that you have, or the 5 friends that you surround yourself with. So why don't you go to a location where there are other people who are focusing on know, like, and trust, who are focusing on being credible, focusing on doing the right things, and you can go there and feel safe, feel secure, feel like you can meet people who want to see you the way you want to be seen, and also they get to see you. So one of the things I've been toying around with for a sort of more practical definition of credibility, there are 2 components. One is your character, so who you really are. So that's part of the people really, the quality that they know you, and the quality that they like and trust you. That may come directly from, so it's your character coupled with the perception that other people have of you. So who you really are internally and how you share that, and then how other people perceive you, that's really your credibility. And that internal external thing, that yin and yang, that's how you allow things to go forward. When you allow your people to also be credible, to also show up as who they really are, as their authentic selves, and they share that, not just with you, but with those around them, and you continue to expand that. That's the philosophy. That's the approach that we're putting in place. That's what I say in the TED Talk. That's what's part of Credibility Nation. And I appreciate both of these questions. So if I'm going to summarize, I'm credible. This first question, how important is credibility on a scale of 1 to 10? 10. Second one is I've allowed myself to be credible by showing up as my true self and wanting to be of service to others. And the answer is yes. Continue to do that more and encourage your people to do that as well. Hey, I hope you found this useful and enjoyable. Give some comments and feedback. Look forward to hearing you. Give us some questions. We'll answer them and see you in the next episode of Dear Credibility Expert. Thanks. Bye.